Hi, I'm Chris from Duratech. I'm here today at JJ Roofing Supplies. We're going to be fitting a M4A PVC window, a 78 by 98, as you can see here. So if you look at the box, you'll see lower down what type of window it is, in this case being the PVC, and then this window being suitable for all roofing materials and between 15 and 90 degree pitch. Once you've opened the box, you'll notice that the handle's pre-installed. The instructions are here just at the back, and the box with the brackets and the fixings is fastened on at the bottom. So once you've totally unboxed the window, flip it over onto its side and we're going to open it up. Once we've opened it up, we'll be able to get to the hinges, which will then allow us to take the window out of the frame. Pins are located just here. All you have to do, press down, one at the top as well, and this will then allow us to release the frame. Once you open your box of fixings, you'll find 4 brackets, 2 packs of screws and a plastic packer. Next you're going to come up to the brackets. You want to make sure the edge of the bracket sits 10 centimetres down from the edge of the frame. Then, using the self-tapping screws, which are the smaller ones, and then repeat the process for the other 3 brackets, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top. So next thing you want to do is just bring the frame through. It's got 4 brackets that we put on earlier, and there is a small lip on each one. Use that lip just to rest the frame onto the batten. Be sure to leave a 40 to 60mm tolerance either side of the frame. So now that the frame's in the correct position, we can start to fix it using the brackets and the screws provided. Don't quite wind these all the way in, as we will need to move the window around a little bit afterwards. And then repeat this for the other 3 brackets. Once you're happy that the frame's plumb and level, finish screwing off your brackets, then we can bring the sash through. Now we're just looking to guide the hinge into the frame. So then as you rotate the sash round, you'll hear the hinges click, and that's just them setting into place. Next, we just want to do the daylight test. Just open it up, bring it back down slowly, and then just check that the gap is consistent right the way along. Close the window back over, and then just do the same again, and just check the gap is consistent up the side. So now that we're happy everything is square and level, I'm just going to open this back up, spin it round. If we pop the buttons on the hinges, we can then take this back out and put it somewhere safe, make sure. So next we're going to be installing the RUC underfelt collar. It's sold separately to the roof window, and it's designed to significantly reduce the installation time. Okay, so next we're going to pop the RUC underfelt collar on. This will come rolled up, but once you've unravelled it, this will quite simply stretch around each corner. Now what we're going to do is just pull this back, just so we can loosen these battens off, so we can tuck the collar underneath. This collar is really tough, so don't worry about tearing it. Now that's all the way through, we can secure the battens again. Now the bottom's done, you can just repeat the same for the top section. Now that the top of the RUC is secured, we're going to move on to the sides. What we're going to do is just cut a triangle. And then straight down the middle. Allows us to tuck it round, and what we can do there is just staple it onto the side of the batten. You want to do this for every batten on both sides of the window. Now that the RUC collar's in, we're going to move on to the plain tile flashing kit. Once again, you can see the size of the window, M4A, and also 78 by 98, tells you that in centimetres. Okay, so now that we're moving on to the flashing kit, we're going to start with number 1. Now you'll see each piece is labelled 1 to 7, and you just fit them in sequence. This first one is the base. And by using the number 2 piece, you'll be able to secure both of those in at the same time. You can just use number 2 to secure both of them by pushing the plastic pins into the frame, one on both sides. And that'll then hold 1 and 2 in for you while you go and get your screws. So the screws that come with it, you'll notice they're all the same colour as the flashing kit. That's just so you get a nice consistent finish. Now you will notice for training purposes that there is a slight gap here. That's just because we haven't put an eaves course on. Normally it would be up flush. Here we have the box of soakers. They're all individual ones for the type of tiles that we're using. You'll notice that there's 2 different ones, a 3.1 and a 3.2. The 3.1 has a different angle under it. It's much shallower, and that's used more of an intermediate tile just at the base, whereas 3.2 emulates the angle of the tile going up the roof. Now we come to our tile and a half. Just pop that on there, and then what we're going to do is use our 3.1 soaker just to space that out for us. Then we can pop our first screw in. Then you can take that away and put the rest in. It's worth mentioning that don't worry about puncturing this, as it will be covered by the next tile anyway. Now that your tile and a half is secure, just grab your 3.1, slide that down there so it's flush at the bottom, and you'll notice a small flap. Just bend that over and that'll keep it secure for you. So now that we're putting our plain tile layer in, all we need to do is just get these fixed, and then we can repeat the layers for the rest of the frame. So now we're going to fit a tile and a half, this time showing you just where the soaker needs to sit, which is flush with the bottom and the side. You can then drop that all in together, and that'll actually give us our spacing anyway. So now all we're going to do is fold these tabs over to help us secure this soaker in place. So once you reach your top layer, you may have to snip this soaker just to ensure everything's going to be flat. So all we do, and then just bend that over, keep it out of the way. Once you've finished your tiling, we've only done the one side just for training purposes. All you need to do is grab your number 4. You can tell which way round it's supposed to go because the grey tab needs to be at the top. Just place that on the side, a bit of overhang at the bottom, slide it up. Once you've lined it up with your screw hole, you can just start fixing it in, and if you hold the rubber back, it won't trap anything. So now that we've put number 4 in on both sides, you can see that all the tabs and the soakers are all covered, so it's a nice neat finish. Then we're going to use number 5. This, quite simple, just grip number 4 just to pull it round, and then you can see there's a hole here. Just line it up, and then the screw can go straight in. Then once again repeat for the other side. So moving on to number 6. This one's quite easy, just goes on the top. You'll notice there's 2 screw holes. There's one from the number 4 and then from this, and it'll just go straight through the pair of them. Last but not least, number 7. This one is the hood, and it just goes over the top. So what you want to do is you want to check both sides and make sure that this tab goes through the small slot there on either side. Then once it's over, you can just give it a little push just to clip it on. And then all we do is we just push the tab over, securing it. Finally, what we're going to do is bring the sash through, fix it into the frame, just being mindful of these extra covering parts as there is a little bit less room now to bring it through. What we're aiming to do now is fit the hinges one at a time. Okay, so now all we want to do is guide these into the hinge one at a time. And as those 2 go in, all you do is bring it around, you'll hear 2 clicks, and then all that's left to do is take the wax strips off the front and that is our window and flashing kit fully installed.